Okay, welcome to round 2 of the 2023 Midwest Major. This round I'm playing against Keith Hagel. In the previous round, I played Jason Vaisberg and lost by around 55 points. So we're hoping to get a win this round. And Keith is going first. So let's see what we get. Alright, AENS, very nice. DRR, so I'm gonna bingo, most likely. It's very hard to imagine that I won't. So I'm looking up at the ceiling, trying to think of some 8-letter words. But most likely it's a 7-letter word I'm gonna play, and after the play of Jag, seems pretty obvious. Just making sure I'm not missing anything from or to the A to hit the triple, because I'm fairly certain there are 2 words here, darners and errands, and I play darners because that puts the D on the triple letter score, so I'm scoring a few more points.
76.
76?
Yes.
So that's a nice 76 points. Let's see what I get. ET, that's pretty good. ETY, ETRY, that's good balance. Wow. Immediately I see re-entry, but there's no spot for it. Don't see any 8-letter words. What is he doing? Is he going to give me a spot? Oh man. Emo, what an unfortunate play for Keith, giving me a 3-way overlap for my 7-letter word that was homeless. That's pretty much an insta-play. So this game's going very well so far. It's always nice to get a pretty easy game 2 after losing game 1. Feeling a little bit appeased at this point. Can we get a 3rd bingo in a row? Let's see. S blank. Would you believe the first 2 tiles I see? It's looking good. Alright. 7-letter words exist on this rack. I see Veeries, but it's most likely an 8-letter word on this board. Keith makes a nice play of doeth, and that gives me very easy play
74.
after just making sure I'm not missing anything through the N and darners, because that would hit potentially 2 double word scores. I go ahead and I play deceives. And yeah, so far this game has just been too easy. It's definitely a good feeling, but it's not necessarily
86.
a long-lasting one. Of course, at the end of the game, you're happy you had an easy go, but kind of feel bad for your opponent. You wouldn't want this to happen to you. Look at this, Q, U, Z as well. Man. Really haven't had to think much at all this game. Keith finds a very nice underlapping play. Polly. Can you guess how much this scores? It's a whole lot. I think it's 51, right? Very nice. So he's staying in it. Took me a while to see this play of quote, but I actually missed a play. That same spot, I could have played Zowie for a few more points. Zowee, keeping
Yeah.
the QU combination. But luckily for me, quote is probably slightly better, just because I'm one letter off of playing wheres through either the A or the R of darners. So the chance of drawing that makes keeping the W with the Z not a big deal, and quote potentially a better play. Normally the Z is a lot better than the Q, but not really when you're keeping such a clunky letter like the W. So Keith gets rid of his UV combination, one of our favorites, plays Fauve, and we draw the second blank. So I figure this game's probably over at this point. He's not getting the second blank. I have an 123-point lead. So I decided to get a little bit fancy here, probably to a fault. Play paw, setting up za to the left. It seems very unlikely that Keith will block the setup. Could have just played wave through the V and Fauve and just scored a bit more and not depended on the setup working out in my favor. I draw an A and an N. Cadenza isn't going to fit anywhere, most likely. And Keith shocks me here. Seems like he's read my mind. He's sniffed out the setup. He plays TA in the spot I wanted to play, ZA. I find this amusing, but also a little bit unsettling. And just like in round one, psychology takes a toll. And I miss a slightly... You see cadenza, would be nice with Fauved. I miss a slightly tough four-letter word of czar, which is so much better than the play of azan. But the key in this position is that there are so many eyes left. 8 of them. 8 of the 9 eyes remain unseen. So I don't want to play a lot of tiles here. Azan is extremely aggressive. I just couldn't find another option. But it's a bad play. I could actually lose the game after this. It's very unlikely, but shouldn't have been so aggressive, especially after a short play from Keith. He punishes me, plays national, of course. It's only 60 points. But there are a couple threats that come with this play. National sets up a huge S hook with nationals. Any word ending in an S or containing an S making nationals will go both ways on a double word score. And there's enough space for a 7-letter word there. Also opens a triple. And luckily for me, I only draw one of the eyes. But I actually have to keep my eye here and play Bice. I could very well draw a couple more.
33.
Suddenly, of course, I'm still ahead by well over 100 points, but with some lucky pulls, Keith could actually come back. All of these open lines. So yeah, Azan was a very, very bad play. I just did not spot a very significant improvement. And I don't draw an eye, and like every turn that I don't draw eyes is just a godsend. This will often happen where there's a vowel like the I that just doesn't get played for around half of the game, and so many of it remain. It becomes very important even at an earlier stage in the game to be cognizant of the imbalances. So Keith plays Ills and Nationals, which I'm very happy to see. Gets rid of the spot, doesn't score so much. And
40.
I play Witch to the C. Gets rid of my I. Scores extremely well. So I'm back in charge here. No longer worried about losing the game. And I draw a decent looking rack. I see a bingo. I'm looking for other ones, but I'm not spotting anything. I only see one bingo with this rack. Keith plays Spied, hooking Azans, taking advantage of, again, the ridiculous aggression. And I play my bingo of Manu Code. Now, this is another very big mistake. I could actually lose the game after this, which I was aware of,
70.
but I wasn't aware of the alternatives. So Columnia, Columnar, and Unmacho all fit, and I missed all of those. I saw the word Unmacho on my rack. I didn't see the spot on the second to bottom row. And yeah, if Keith triples, I could lose. Luckily, he doesn't have the 1 in 100 and plays timid. And now there's one letter left in the bag. And I decided to play Fug. If I draw an O, I'm threatening to play Borage through the G.
23.
And with a lot of other draws, I'm threatening outplays. This doesn't give him much based on the unseen letters. And it's indeed the best pre-endgame play. And I draw the O. Is he going to block Borage? It's a very complicated endgame for him. He doesn't. He decides to just play XI for 38 points, and this allows me to go out for a whopping 27. You don't usually get to go out with 5 letters for almost 30 points.
27.
And this ends the game in my favor. So, yeah, 525 to 369. Again, I made 2 big mistakes in this game, but I drew way too well for them to matter.
So 545,
So,
369. Okay.
nice feel-good win. Let's try to play better in round 3. Thanks for watching.